Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today we'll be taking a look at Hyperdimension Neptunia U Action Unleashed, which is a hack and slash real-time combat game based on the Neptunia series. The game debuted on the PS Vita in 2014 and was later ported to the PC and Steam a couple years later. In the video I'll have gameplay footage from both the Vita and the PC Steam versions, but I primarily played on the Vita as it's really a great game for handheld, which we'll get into in a little bit. The Steam Deck does not have support for this game, and I tried to play it and it wouldn't even load, so I would say it's not a good game to play on a Steam Deck unless you're streaming from a PC. The game is a spin-off of the Neptunia series, but you don't need to know anything about the Neptunia series in order to enjoy this game. The characters are from the Neptunia games, but really the story is not that in-depth and you really don't need to know anything, but if you have played the Neptunia games, then you'll feel right at home here. The game is made by Tamsoft, which is the same company that also made the Senran and Kagura Estival Versus and Shinobi Versus, as well as some newer Neptunia games like Hyperdimension Neptunia 4 Goddesses Online and Neptunia Cross Senran and Kagura Ninja Wars, which are also similar type of games. If you played any of those games or the Senran and Kagura games, this game is going to feel right at home. As in the game, you will face a bunch of enemies in a small area that you fight your way through with several different types of moves. There is some fan service in this game, like in the Senran and Kagura games. If your character takes too many hits, the clothes will rip off, and you'll get a nice little animation, but the fan service is not nearly as strong as in the Senran and Kagura games. It's there, but it's not a focus. There is some balance and some other animations, but it's important to note this game's also rated T instead of M like the Senran and Kagura games. Alright, moving on to the story. The main portion of the game is the story mode, where you will follow 10 characters, which include the 4 goddesses, 4 CPU candidates, and 2 new characters to the series Gengekiko and Famitsu, which are based on Japanese publications. Basically, they are writing articles about the CPUs as a complete quest that are to rid Gamindustri of the different monsters. The story has a lot of built-in banter and comedic relief between the characters, just like any other Neptunia game. If you haven't played a Neptunia game, there's a lot of fourth wall breaking kind of and comedy built into the story, which is fun because it doesn't take itself too seriously. The combat in the game is really quite refined, and I found myself enjoying it quite a bit. There are several different types of attacks, including regular, special, EXE, and Lily attacks. The special attacks use a type of mana system that is built up through performing normal attacks. During battle, you have the option to switch between the 2 different characters, or you can take on a quest solo. The pairing characters together will raise their Lily rank, which will give you some bonuses like increased EXE, EXP, or some other things. It's also a trophy requirement if you're playing on the Vita or Steam Achievement as well. You also have this ability to switch to HDD mode during combat, which is a different form of the characters that makes you stronger and faster, as well as gives you some different attacks. Each character has a different fighting style. Some are melee, like for example, Nepgear and Neptune are close range melee. Then you have Vert, which is like melee but a little bit longer range, and then Uni, which uses a rifle and is long range. So in story mode, your main goal is to clear quests. Each quest will have a specific clear requirement, with most of them being that you need to defeat a certain monster. There are also irregular quests, which will not be clear on what you need to do, but if you go in and abandon the quest, then it will at least give you hints on what you need to do, or you can try to figure it out yourself and fail. Either way. But as you clear quests and defeat monsters, you'll gain levels on the characters that you actually use. If you have 2 people or 2 characters in a party, you need to use both of them to gain experience on both. It's whoever is actually fighting the monsters. You also gain medals when you defeat enemies, and you can use these medals to power up your characters and gain new weapons. So after story mode, you will be able to access 2 additional game modes, which are the Gamindustri Gauntlet and Neptral Tower. So the Gamindustri Gauntlet is a mode where you can participate in a tournament with all the main characters, the 10 characters, and the HDD forms. Pretty much you have to beat whoever's on the tournament roster. When you get to the end, you win, and you also get an accessory for winning on each character. In order to get the trophy or achievement, you will need to beat it with each character, not the HDD form and the normal form. After that, we have the Neptral Tower, which is 50 levels that you must clear from bottom to top. So starting at 1, go all the way up to 50 for each character. So if you have one character and goes all the way to the top, the next character will not be able to start at, say, 25. You must start at the bottom with them as well. So you climb it with each character. This is where you will spend most of the time in the game. This is the best place to level your characters, as well as finish any medals that you need. Alright, so coming up on the conclusion. Do I recommend this game? Yes. If you are a fan of the Neptunia series, for sure you need to play it. It's a fun action game. As far as for the PS Vita handheld, it's very nice because you can kind of, play during downtime. So it's really easy. It's a really easy game to pick up, play a little bit, stop, put it away, play again later. The downside to the PS Vita is that the hardware is, of course, not up to normal or modern PC standards today. If you play on the PC, you get way better graphics as well as higher frame rate, and it feels a lot smoother. But I really did enjoy my time playing it through on the PS Vita. Mostly, like I said, when I was out, I was able to just pick up and play a little bit, then put it back down. You can tell that it was made for the Vita. It has some hardware limitations. The areas are quite small. It's just what it is. But overall, I would recommend this game, and as well as the other Neptunia games if you have not played them. Thank you for watching this review. If you have any questions, please leave them below. If you liked the video, please upvote it. If you didn't, downvote it. And once again, thank you for watching. Hope to see you soon.